Most men over 60 are dying slowly and they don't even know it. Their bodies are shutting down, their minds are fogging, their spirit is fading, and society tells them this is normal. But what if I told you that 3 simple vitamins could restore the fire in your belly, the clarity in your mind, and the strength in your body that you thought was gone forever? Stay until the end, because the 3rd vitamin will challenge everything you believe about aging, and it might just save your life. I've spent decades studying the ancient wisdom of longevity, watching masters in their 80s and 90s move with the grace of men half their age. I've seen modern science confirm what traditional medicine has known for millennia. The decline you're experiencing isn't inevitable, it's a choice. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to reverse it. The hidden truth. Your body is not betraying you, society is. We've been conditioned to believe that 60 is the beginning of the end, that slowing down is natural, that accepting less energy, less vitality, less life is somehow dignified. This is a lie that keeps you small, keeps you dependent, keeps you from accessing the power that should be yours in your golden years. In the monasteries of China, I learned that the body is not separate from the mind, and the mind is not separate from the spirit. When one suffers, all suffer. When one is nourished, all flourish. The masters understood that certain nutrients were not just food for the body, but fuel for the soul. They knew that deficiency in these key elements would create a cascade of decline that would touch every aspect of a man's existence. But here's what they also knew, that modern medicine is just beginning to understand. The body of a man over 60 is not the same as the body of a man at 30. It doesn't just need more nutrients, it needs different nutrients. It needs specific compounds that can cross the blood-brain barrier, that can penetrate cellular walls that have become rigid with age, that can communicate with genetic switches that have been turned off by decades of stress, poor diet, and toxic exposure. The first vitamin I'm about to share with you is so powerful that Big Pharma has spent billions trying to synthesize it, yet they've never come close to matching what nature provides. The second will challenge everything you think you know about brain health and cognitive decline. And the third will make you question why no doctor has ever told you about its life-changing properties. Vitamin D3, the forgotten hormone. Let me tell you about David, a 65-year-old man who came to me broken. His wife had left him, his business was failing, and he could barely get out of bed in the morning. His doctor had prescribed antidepressants, testosterone therapy, and sleeping pills. Nothing worked. His blood tests showed one glaring deficiency: vitamin D3 levels so low they were barely detectable. Within 6 months of proper D3 supplementation, David's entire life transformed. His energy returned, his mood stabilized, his cognitive function sharpened, and yes, his wife came back. But this wasn't just about a vitamin. This was about understanding that D3 isn't really a vitamin at all. It's a hormone, a master hormone that controls over 3,000 genes in your body. When you're deficient in D3, which 90% of men over 60 are, your body begins to shut down in ways that are both subtle and devastating. Your testosterone production plummets, your immune system weakens, your bones become brittle, your mind becomes cloudy, your heart becomes vulnerable. Most critically, your cellular energy production drops to dangerous levels. But here's what most doctors won't tell you. The vitamin D3 you buy at the pharmacy is often worthless. The dosage is too low, the form is wrong, and it's missing the crucial cofactors that make it work. You need at least 5,000 to 10,000 IU daily, not the pathetic 400 IU that most supplements provide. You need it in the cholecalciferol form, not the synthetic ergocalciferol. And you absolutely must take it with vitamin K2 and magnesium, or you'll create more problems than you solve. The ancient masters knew this. They understood that the sun was medicine, that exposure to natural light was as crucial as food and water. They built their temples and meditation halls to maximize solar exposure. They timed their activities to the rhythms of light and darkness. They knew that a man cut off from the sun was a man cut off from his life force. In modern times, we've created a society that keeps men indoors, under artificial lights, slathered in sunscreen when they do venture outside. We've created a vitamin D deficiency epidemic that's literally killing men slowly, robbing them of their vitality, their strength, their very essence. But this can be reversed quickly, dramatically, life-changingly. The methylation crisis. The second vitamin will shock you because it's one that most people think they're getting enough of, but they're not. They're not even close. I'm talking about vitamin B12, but not the kind you think you know. I'm talking about methylcobalamin, the active form that your brain and nervous system are desperately crying out for. Most men over 60 are walking around with B12 deficiency so severe that it's causing irreversible neurological damage. Their memories are failing, their balance is deteriorating, their mood is darkening, and their doctors are telling them it's just normal aging. It's not normal, it's preventable, and it's reversible if you catch it in time. Your stomach acid decreases dramatically as you age. This means you can't extract B12 from food the way you used to. The synthetic cyanocobalamin in most supplements is nearly useless because your body can't convert it efficiently. You need methylcobalamin, and you need it in doses that would shock your doctor. We're talking about 1,000 to 5,000 micrograms daily, not the pitiful 6 micrograms that the government recommends. But here's where it gets interesting. B12 isn't just about preventing anemia or boosting energy. It's about something called methylation, a process so fundamental to life that without it, you literally cannot exist. Methylation controls your DNA expression, your detoxification pathways, your neurotransmitter production, and your cellular repair mechanisms. When methylation fails, everything fails. I've seen men in their 70s and 80s reverse decades of cognitive decline with proper B12 supplementation. Their minds become sharp again, their energy returns, their zest for life rekindles. But it has to be the right form, at the right dose, taken consistently for months, not days. The tragedy is that this deficiency is easy to test for and easy to fix, yet millions of men are suffering needlessly because their doctors are using outdated reference ranges and inferior forms of supplementation. The blood test you need is not just B12 levels, but methylmalonic acid and homocysteine. These will tell you if your body is actually using the B12 you're taking. The omega revolution. Now we come to the third vitamin, and this is where everything changes. This is where ancient wisdom meets cutting-edge science in a way that will transform how you think about aging, inflammation, and the very nature of vitality itself. I'm talking about omega-3 fatty acids, but not the fish oil pills you've been choking down. I'm talking about the specific ratios and forms that can literally rewire your brain and rebuild your cardiovascular system. Your brain is 60% fat. Your hormones are made from fat. Your cellular membranes are constructed from fat, but not just any fat. Specific fats that have been systematically removed from the modern diet and replaced with inflammatory omega-6 oils that are slowly poisoning you from the inside out. The ideal ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 in your body should be 4.1. In most men over 60, it's 20.1 or higher. This creates a state of chronic inflammation so severe that it's literally eating your brain, clogging your arteries, and accelerating every disease process in your body. You're not just aging, you're inflaming to death. But here's what the supplement industry doesn't want you to know. Most fish oil supplements are rancid, oxidized, and potentially more harmful than helpful. They're processed with heat and chemicals that destroy the delicate fatty acid structures. They're stored improperly, shipped poorly, and sold in clear bottles that further degrade their potency. What you need is pharmaceutical-grade, molecularly distilled, triglyceride form omega-3s with specific ratios of EPA to DHA. You need at least 2,000 to 3,000 mg daily, not the 300 mg found in most supplements. And you need to take them with fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K to maximize absorption and prevent oxidation. The transformation that happens when you correct omega-3 deficiency is nothing short of miraculous. Your brain fog lifts, your joint pain disappears, your skin becomes supple, your sleep deepens, your mood stabilizes, your blood pressure normalizes, your cognitive function sharpens to levels you haven't experienced in decades. But there's something even more profound happening at the cellular level. These omega-3 fatty acids are literally changing the structure of your cell membranes, making them more fluid, more permeable, more capable of communication. They're reducing inflammation markers by up to 70%. They're increasing the production of specialized pro-resolving mediators that actively heal damaged tissues. I've watched men in their 80s regain the mental clarity of men in their 40s. I've seen inflammatory markers drop to levels that shock cardiologists. I've witnessed joint pain that had persisted for years simply vanish. This isn't about managing aging, this is about reversing it. The synergy secret. But here's where most people fail. They take these vitamins separately, in isolation, without understanding that the body doesn't work in isolation. Everything is connected, everything is interdependent, everything is synergistic. Vitamin D3 needs magnesium to activate. B12 needs folate to function. Omega-3s need vitamin E to prevent oxidation. Take them apart and you get partial results. Take them together in the right forms, at the right doses, with the right timing, and you create a cascade of healing that touches every cell in your body. This is why the ancient masters never isolated nutrients. They understood that healing came from whole systems, complete approaches, integrated wisdom. They knew that the body was not a machine to be fixed with individual parts, but a living system to be nourished holistically. The modern approach of reductionist medicine has lost this wisdom. We study individual nutrients in isolation, missing the beautiful complexity of how they work together. We create artificial deficiencies by providing one nutrient without its cofactors. We wonder why supplements don't work when we're using the wrong forms, wrong doses, wrong combinations. The inflammation connection. What ties all three of these vitamins together is inflammation. Chronic, low-grade inflammation that's literally aging you from the inside out. This isn't the acute inflammation that heals a wound. This is the persistent, systemic inflammation that's destroying your organs, your brain, your vitality. Vitamin D3 is a powerful anti-inflammatory that regulates your immune system's response. B12 controls the methylation pathways that determine how your body processes inflammatory compounds. Omega-3s are the building blocks of your body's natural anti-inflammatory molecules. When you're deficient in these three nutrients, you're essentially throwing gasoline on the fire of inflammation. Your body becomes a war zone where your immune system is constantly fighting imaginary enemies, exhausting itself and you in the process. But when you provide these nutrients in therapeutic doses, something magical happens. The inflammation begins to cool. The immune system calms down. The body shifts from a state of constant defense to one of repair and regeneration. You don't just feel better, you literally become biologically younger. This is why men who follow this protocol don't just improve their energy and mood. They improve their longevity. They reduce their risk of heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and dementia. They maintain their independence longer. They enjoy higher quality of life in their later years. The timing factor. When you take these vitamins, matters as much as what you take. Your body's ability to absorb and utilize nutrients changes throughout the day, following circadian rhythms that have been established over millions of years of evolution. Vitamin D3 should be taken in the morning, mimicking the natural exposure to sunlight. This helps maintain your circadian rhythm and prevents it from interfering with melatonin production at night. B12 is best taken on an empty stomach for maximum absorption, preferably sublingually to bypass potential digestive issues. Omega-3s should be taken with meals to enhance absorption and reduce any potential digestive upset. But there's more to timing than just when you take them. You need to understand that these nutrients work cumulatively. You won't see dramatic changes in a week or even a month. The cellular changes that create lasting vitality take time to manifest. You need to think in terms of 3 to 6 months for full benefits to emerge. This is where most people fail. They expect instant gratification in a world that has conditioned them to believe that quick fixes exist for complex problems. They take supplements for a few weeks, don't see immediate results, and give up. They never experience the profound transformation that comes from consistent, long-term nutritional support. The quality imperative. Not all supplements are created equal. In fact, most are worthless. The supplement industry is largely unregulated, allowing companies to make products that are contaminated, mislabeled, or simply ineffective. You can waste years taking supplements that do nothing, or worse, that actively harm you. For vitamin D3, you need to look for cholecalciferol in an oil-based capsule. Avoid tablets and powders that don't absorb well. Look for products that have been third-party tested for purity and potency. Make sure it includes K2 and magnesium in the same formula. For B12, insist on methylcobalamin, not cyanocobalamin. Look for sublingual tablets or liquid forms that bypass digestive absorption issues. High-quality B12 supplements should also include other B vitamins, particularly folate, in the methylated form. For omega-3s, pharmaceutical grade is non-negotiable. Look for products that list the exact amounts of EPA and DHA, not just total omega-3 content. The oil should be in triglyceride form, not ethyl ester. It should be molecularly distilled to remove toxins and stored in dark, cool conditions. The mindset shift. But here's what I want you to understand more than anything else. This isn't just about vitamins. This is about reclaiming your power. This is about refusing to accept the cultural narrative that tells you that decline is inevitable, that growing older means growing weaker, that your best years are behind you. Every day you wake up is a choice. You can choose to nourish your body with what it needs to thrive, or you can choose to let it slowly deteriorate. You can choose to take control of your health, or you can choose to be a victim of circumstance. You can choose to age gracefully and powerfully, or you can choose to fade away quietly. The men I've worked with who have transformed their lives after 60 all share one common trait. They refuse to accept limitations. They refuse to believe that their energy levels, their cognitive function, their physical capabilities were fixed. They understood that the body is constantly rebuilding itself, that every cell is replaced regularly, that transformation is not just possible but inevitable. The question is not whether you'll change. You're changing every moment. The question is whether you'll direct that change toward vitality or decline, whether you'll feed your body the nutrients it needs to create healthy new cells, or whether you'll starve it and watch it slowly break down. The spiritual dimension. In the monastery, we understood that the body is the temple of the spirit. How you treat your body reflects how you value your life, your purpose, your connection to something greater than yourself. When you nourish your body properly, you're not just maintaining a biological machine, you're honoring the sacred vessel that carries your consciousness through this world. There's something profoundly spiritual about taking responsibility for your health. It's an act of self-respect, of gratitude, of recognition that your life has meaning and purpose. When you feel strong, energetic, and mentally clear, you're better able to serve others, to contribute to the world, to fulfill your highest potential. The ancient masters knew that physical vitality and spiritual development were inseparable. A weak body creates a weak mind, which creates a weak spirit. But a strong, healthy body provides the foundation for mental clarity, emotional stability, and spiritual growth. The ripple effect. When you transform your own health, you don't just change your own life. You change the lives of everyone around you. Your wife, your children, your friends, your colleagues, they all benefit when you show up as your best self. You become an example of what's possible. You inspire others to take control of their own health. You also change the healthcare system by taking responsibility for your own wellness instead of relying on doctors to fix problems after they occur. You reduce your risk of expensive, debilitating diseases that burden not just you, but your family and society. Most importantly, you change the cultural narrative about aging. You become living proof that growing older doesn't mean growing weaker. You demonstrate that vitality is possible at any age. You show other men that they don't have to accept decline as inevitable. The economic reality. Let's talk about something that hits close to home for many men over 60, the financial impact of poor health. The average man will spend more on healthcare in his last 10 years of life than in all the previous years combined. Most of that money goes to managing preventable diseases that could have been avoided with proper nutrition and lifestyle choices. The 3 vitamins I've discussed today cost less than $100 per month. Compare that to the thousands of dollars you'll spend on medications, procedures, and treatments for heart disease, diabetes, dementia, and other age-related conditions. This isn't just about feeling better, it's about financial survival. But more than that, it's about maintaining your independence. The men who prioritize their health in their 60s and 70s are the ones who remain vital and independent in their 80s and 90s. They're not burdens on their families, they're not trapped in nursing homes, they're still contributing, still engaged, still living full lives. The legacy factor. What legacy do you want to leave? Do you want to be remembered as a man who gave up, who accepted decline, who became a burden on his family? Or do you want to be remembered as a man who refused to go quietly, who maintained his strength and vitality until the very end, who showed others what was possible? Your health choices today are creating the story that will be told about you tomorrow. Every supplement you take, every healthy meal you eat, every positive choice you make is writing the narrative of your later years. You have the power to author a story of vitality, strength, and continued growth. The men who inspire me most are those who got serious about their health after 60 and transformed not just their bodies but their entire outlook on life. They discovered that age is not a limitation but a liberation. They found that with proper nutrition and care, they could feel better in their 70s than they did in their 50s. The action plan. So what do you do now? First, get tested. Get a comprehensive blood panel that includes vitamin D levels, B12, methylmalonic acid, homocysteine, and omega-3 fatty acid levels. Don't guess, know exactly where you stand. Second, invest in quality supplements. Not the cheapest options, not the most convenient, but the highest quality forms of these three essential nutrients. Your life is worth the investment. Third, give it time. Real transformation takes months, not days. Be patient with the process. Trust that your body knows how to heal itself when given the right tools. Fourth, track your progress. Keep a journal of how you feel, your energy levels, your mental clarity, your physical symptoms. You'll be amazed at how much you improve when you're paying attention. Fifth, share your journey. Tell other men about what you're doing. Help them understand that they don't have to accept decline as inevitable. Be part of the solution to the epidemic of unnecessary suffering among men over 60. The final truth. Here's what I need you to understand with absolute clarity. You are not too old to change. You are not too far gone to recover. You are not destined to decline. The story you've been told about aging is a lie designed to keep you small, weak, and dependent. Your body is a miracle of regeneration. Every cell in your body is replaced regularly. Your brain can form new neural connections at any age. Your muscles can grow stronger. Your mind can become clearer. Your spirit can soar higher. But only if you give your body what it needs to thrive. These three vitamins, D3, B12, and omega-3s, are not magic pills. They're tools. Tools that can help you reclaim your vitality, your strength, your very life. But tools are only as good as the person using them. You have to make the choice to use them consistently, correctly, and with complete commitment to your own transformation. The men who succeed are the ones who understand that this is not about adding years to your life, but adding life to your years. They're not trying to live longer, they're trying to live better. They're not focused on avoiding death, they're focused on embracing life fully, completely, passionately. You have a choice to make right now. You can close this video and go back to accepting decline as inevitable. You can continue to believe that feeling tired, foggy, and weak is just part of getting older. You can surrender to the narrative that your best years are behind you. Or you can choose to fight. You can choose to reclaim your power. You can choose to nourish your body, mind, and spirit with what they need to thrive. You can choose to become an example of what's possible for men over 60. The choice is yours. But know this, if you choose the path of vitality, if you choose to take control of your health, if you choose to refuse the limitations that society places on men your age, you will not just transform your own life. You will inspire others. You will change the world. Your body is waiting. Your mind is ready. Your spirit is calling. All you have to do is answer. All you have to do is begin. All you have to do is choose to live fully, completely, powerfully for all the years you have remaining. The time is now. The choice is yours. The transformation is waiting.